Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Future Wheelz, your channel for what's next on wheels. Today I want you to sit tight because we're getting under the skin of a serious contender in the EV/SUV scene, the 2026 BYD Sealion 7. We'll take our time and walk around it, slip inside, drive it, talk specs, real impressions, pricing expectations, and in the end I'll tell you whether I think it's a win or a compromise. Let's get started. You approach the car and the first thing you notice is how balanced the proportions are. It doesn't feel overly tall, but it doesn't feel too low either. There's a purposeful stance. The design language BYD calls ocean aesthetics is in full force: crisp lines, sculpted edges, flowing surfaces that mimic wave motion. The Ocean X-face motif up front dominates. You see intersecting contours and light sculpting around the signature LED elements. That X structure gives a sense of tension and focus, like the car has a jawline, not just a blunt face. The headlights are slim, they integrate daytime running LEDs, and the whole front fascia feels cohesive, not derivative. Walking along the side, the copyright SUV silhouette becomes apparent. The roof gently drops toward the rear, blending sportiness with utility. The flush door handles are subtle and help the side remain clean. The windows taper a bit, giving it a sleek look rather than a boxy SUV feel. The character lines are elegantly sculpted. They undulate but don't overpower. The wheels, in higher trims, are large 20-inch units which look aggressive but also raise questions about ride comfort on less forgiving roads. Reviewers have noted that big wheels plus firm tire pressures can bring a sharper ride on coarse surfaces. At the rear, BYD leans into the water drop LED accents. A full-width LED strip connects across the tail, punctuated by droplet LED motifs that evoke falling water. There's a subtle integrated spoiler or ducktail lip at the top of the tailgate. The tailgate itself often has gesture opening and anti-pinch, and you can program stopping positions. The lower rear bumper is neatly done, with reflectors and sculpting to avoid it looking too plain. The rear is cohesive and more than a just fillet in design, it looks intentional. Step inside, you'll feel BYD has matured. The interior doesn't feel like a budget EV, it leans premium. The styling is fluid and crafted, nearly floating elements in how panels seem to curve into one another. Soft materials dominate. Over 80% of surfaces are covered in soft vegan leather or padded materials instead of hard plastics. The seats are quilted Nappa leather in some variants, adding a touch of elegance. Ambient lighting spans 128 colors, letting you dial in moods. The centerpiece is the 15.6-inch rotating touchscreen. It tilts between portrait and landscape depending on function. It handles VAC, navigation, media, vehicle settings, etc. The instrument cluster is fully digital, around 10.25 inches in many markets, showing everything from speed to energy flow to navigation prompts. In some markets there's also a head-up display. You'll find wireless charging, 50W, multiple USB ports, 4-zone climate, in some trims, and smart voice, cockpit features. Space is very good. The boot is rated at 520 liters, and with rear seats folded it expands to 1,789 liters in certain specs. There's also a 58 liters front trunk, up front handy for cables, small items. The rear floor is relatively flat, which helps with middle passenger comfort. Legroom is generous, especially for a car with a sloping roofline. Noise insulation is well engineered. BYD uses NVH, noise, vibration, harshness, treatments and sealing to make the cabin quiet. Under the hood things get interesting. The Sealion 7 uses BYD's electric architecture. In many export markets the E-Platform 3.0 is used, 400-volt system, but in top-spec European or Chinese models the more advanced E-Platform 3.0 Evo variation is used, some 800 volts capability. The car also uses BYD's CTB, cell-to-body, technology, which integrates the battery pack into the vehicle structure to increase rigidity and reduce weight penalty. BYD also claims motor rotation up to 23,000 revolutions per minute, pushing the envelope on electric motor design. Battery options vary by market. In many export markets, BYD offers an 82.56 kWh LFP blade battery, powering either RWD, single motor, or AWD, dual motor, setups. In China, there are also 71.8 kWh and 80.64 kWh options with fast charging up to 240 kilowatts. For example, Chinese variants with 80.64 kWh can charge from 10 to 80% in 25 minutes in ideal conditions. Top export versions may support DC fast charging up to 230 kilowatts. Some markets, though lower spec exports may be limited to 150 kilowatts. Performance. The AWD Performance version combines a front motor, 160 kilowatts, 310 Nm, with a rear motor, 230 kilowatts, 380 Nm, to produce 390 kilowatts total and 690 newton meters torque. That yields a claimed 0-100 kilometers per hour in 4.5 seconds. Its top speed is generally stated around 215 kilometers per hour in many specs. The RWD premium variant, single motor, does 0-100 in 6.7 seconds in some reviews. As for efficiency, reviewers say under mixed driving the AWD performance consumes around 18 kWh/100 kilometers in normal use. In real-world testing, one drive in Singapore covered 223 miles, 360 kilometers, with 7% battery left, a bit lower than expected by WLTP or brochure claims, but still solid. Aggressive driving, high speed, heating, AC use, terrain at these will reduce range. Also, range claims are often optimistic. Handling, in everyday driving it's common composed. The suspension, front double wishbone, rear multi-link in many versions, handles imperfections well. Some versions include adaptive damping, for example DSUSI system, to adjust firmness based on road conditions. The trade-off, the car is heavy, especially the AWD version, so in aggressive cornering, body roll and mass become noticeable. Steering is light and precise in normal driving, though those seeking more tactile feedback might find it a bit sterile under sporty driving. One review even titled it about as fun as sitting on a bus when pushed hard in corners. On coarse or broken surfaces, the ride may feel a bit harsh in the performance version. Big wheels, stiff setup, compared to the premium, smaller wheel version. In one review, the Sealion 7 Premium RWD is referenced with an approximate starting price of $67,990, while the performance AWD tops out at $79,990 for certain export markets. In China, BYD offers lower battery options and local incentives, so net prices are often lower. In India, some sources quote around a superscript 148.9854.90 lakh ex-showroom for certain versions, though import and local tax could distort that. This number came in one earlier draft I gave, treat it cautiously. Meanwhile, in Singapore, one tester indicated the AWD model was priced at about 219,000 yuan, Chinese domestic price, converted during the test. Other journalists expect in Australia the Sealion 7 to shake up pricing in the $55,000 drive-away range. If that kind of aggressive pricing comes to markets like ours, it could make the Sealion 7 extremely competitive against Tesla, European EVs, and high-end ICE crossovers. But the caveat, support, service network, charging infrastructure, parts, warranty, these can make or break acceptance. In terms of value, the Sealion 7 gives a lot of features: premium interior, advanced drive systems, performance in the AWD version, generous range, full LED lighting, rotating display, safety tech, etc. The premium one adds more performance but costs more. Reviewers often ask whether the delta is justified. In many tests, the premium RWD is judged to be the better balance for most users. Also, residual value or depreciation for EVs is a concern. Many owners and reviewers highlight that EVs can drop faster in value early on. From user feedback on forums, depreciation, trade-ins, etc., picture driving this in everyday life. On city streets, it's smooth, quiet, confident. Acceleration is strong even in the RWD option, and in AWD mode it's almost rocket-like from a standstill. The cabin insulation is good, you rarely feel outside disturbances. The tech is impressive: rotating display, adaptive features, plenty of creature comforts. The design will turn heads, it feels futuristic and fresh. But push it hard in winding roads and you begin to sense the weight, body roll, occasional understeer, and less engagement than a sports SUV. For buyers, the choice boils down to, do you need the extra power and grip of AWD, or would the single-motor variant, with better range, lower cost, and slightly softer ride, serve you better? Also, how strong is BYD's local support and after-sales? If you live somewhere with good service coverage, the Sealion 7 becomes much more compelling. If not, the risk is greater. Alright, folks, that's the full, extended dive into the 2026 BYD Sealion 7. What variant would you pick, RWD or AWD? What feature matters most to you, range, performance, interior, or support? Drop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this deep breakdown, smash that like, share with fellow car lovers, subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell so you don't miss future reviews from Car Future Wheelz. Until next time, keep your wheels rolling and tow with the future.